Hello everybody to the very first episode of the Apples to the Core podcast. I'm the Pony Fanboy and I am the host. So, you're probably wondering where Tipsy Gentlemen is. Well, my brother Chris said he wasn't going to be doing that for this month, so it's up to me. I tried getting some guests for this episode. Like I went to Julia Schwartz and she was like, "Oh heck no!" And then I went to Mr. Durka Iwaki and he was like, "No way, bro." And then I went to Uncle Toby and he was like, "Hell no!" So it looks like I'm doing this one on my own. Alright, so in fandom news, we have BronyCon going on right now. Sadly, I could not attend. I really wish I could make it, but I don't have enough money and no one would take me, so yeah. On Equestria Daily, the most reliable of Brony news, we have news that there are MLP fidget spinners, some new MLP movie tie-in plushies where the main six are going to be pirates. They currently have only 3 ponies. We have Pinkie Pie, Rainbow Dash, and Twilight Sparkle. And the legendary MLP analysis reviewer Silver Quill did a review of one of the comics. It is, which one is it? It's MLP issue 57. It's a side comic, and I recommend you check out the review. It's actually really good. Silver does a really good job in written form as he does in video format. That's all we got for the fandom news anyway. So, seeing how this weekend MLP is coming back, I decided I am going to be going through each of the episodes of Season 7 and giving my thoughts so far on this season. Alright. So, first episode is Celestial Advice. I like this one because it gave Celestia a lot of character development, and we have Twilight being adorable, all the different potential worlds that she could send Starlight to. I thought that was pretty cool. The effects that they did for that, the different worlds, everyone goes slightly faded colors. That was pretty cool. I just like this one all around. Some people said that it was pointless because Starlight doesn't end up leaving anyway, but I don't really mind. I'm one of the bronies that doesn't really hate Starlight because I like everything the show makes regardless. Yeah. Then we've got All Bottled Up, where in this episode the main 6 go off to a friendship retreat, and Trixie keeps making fun of Starlight's checkered past and keeps just passively aggressively making fun of her, and she has to bottle up all of her anger, and then she ends up snapping as the anger gets loosed and possesses 3 ponies, and then Starlight has to come clean that it was her. This episode has a good lesson about honesty and how you should be honest with your friends whenever they're bugging you. Yeah, that's all I can say about that one. Yeah, a flurry of emotion. In this episode, Shining Armor and Cadence drop off Flurry Heart so that Twilight can babysit her. And so we get a bunch of babysitting shenanigans. All the while Twilight is trying to multitask and take care of little kids at the hospital. And this one I really liked because it was good to see some good wacky stuff going on with Flurry Heart. We finally get to utilize her character a little bit more. And yeah, it was pretty good to see Twilight be an aunt. And and she even calls herself a bae. B-A-E, best aunt ever. Yes, Twilight, you are best aunt ever. And it was really good to see some callbacks to Generation 8 too. That was really good. Only question I have about this one is, why did Twilight need to get a book from Cheerilee? I mean, Twilight has books, we all know that, and come on, if she didn't have a book for children, she could easily just read Daring Do, because everyone likes Daring Do. Rock Solid Friendship, this one was great just because it was great to see Maud again, and Maud forming a friendship with Starlight, that was pretty good, and Pinkie learns to, give them their private time, give them their space, and let them develop as actual friends. I thought that was good, and one thing I liked about this episode, it was a very small thing, but Starlight likes kites, so that was good. Fluttershy leans on. This was a great episode for Fluttershy because she's finally developed to where she's still the same adorable Fluttershy, but she's willing to stand up for what she wants and what she believes, and I think that's really good. It's good to see character development for her, so that's why I really enjoyed this one. That, yes, she's still Fluttershy, but finally she can take a stand, and we saw a little bit of that with Flutter Brother, so it was good to see that finally come back, and it looks like we're going to get more of that kind of Fluttershy episode from now on. So I'm really good about that. Forever Silly, this one is great because, well, I love Rarity, so this is a great Rarity episode. And it's great to see that they acknowledge that Rarity and Sweetie Belle haven't really spent a lot of time together recently, so Rarity's kind of rusty when it comes to things that Sweetie Belle likes, and clearly she's outgrown. And I like that none of them are in the wrong. Like, Rarity was just trying to have a good day with her sister, but she didn't know any of the things that her sister likes. And Sweetie, while she did overreact by yelling at her sister, she wasn't wrong either, because she needed to tell Rarity that she was finally growing up and that Rarity needed to accept that. And they came together. And the similarities between Zipper Will and her dog, that was a really good correlation. So good on you, writers. Parental guidance, this one was good because we finally got to see Rainbow Dash's parents, and sadly, no, they're not what we thought. Sorry, fandom. But in this one, there's a really good lesson about respecting your parents and how your parents, even though they might be embarrassing, they're still there for you. And some people said they didn't like that they kind of vilified Dash. Other people complained about the same kind of thing in episodes like 28 Pranks Later and Ne'er-Do-Well. While I kind of see that, I still think that it was a good overall message that they had Dash. That she overacted way too much. Honestly, I liked Forever Philly more than this one, but this is still a very good episode. Again, I like everything that this show does, just blindly. Hard to say anything. In this one, oh, this one's good. This one has Sugar Belle and Big Macintosh go into a relationship. All the while we have, what's his name? Featherbangs. A lot of people say he's like a pony Justin Bieber. I think that's insulting. This guy's way better than Justin Bieber is. And the Cutie Mark Crusaders are trying to get Big Mac and Sugar Belle together. And this is a really good episode just to see, again, some funny shenanigans of, two guys fighting over one girl. And ultimately, Big Mac and Sugar Belle end up together. But don't worry, don't feel bad for Featherbangs, because he has three extra young mares who definitely want him. So that's pretty good. Some people didn't like this one because it ruins the whole Big Mac and Cheerilee ship. And while I do feel your pain, my fellow bronies and Pegasisters, don't worry. That's why we have fan fictions. Pony Three Ways. Honest Apple, this one's good because it expands on the whole element of honesty thing with Applejack, and she needs to learn that sometimes being honest makes you sound rude, and while honesty is good, sometimes you need to watch what you say because you just come off like a jerk sometimes. I think that's really good, and it's something that the fandom, like the analysis community, can learn from, so I'm glad that they went with this kind of lesson, especially after episodes like Forever Philly, where a lot of the fan base did a lot of really bad things to the writers on social media, so I think this is a good episode to learn from. And this episode was great because there's two big reasons why I like this one. We have the pony who doesn't like apples. I'm forgetting her name right now. No. I thought that was a really good... That was a great addition. And also, best thing about this episode, Rarity on guitar. The best thing ever in this episode.
Much better.
And a royal problem. In this one, Starlight Glimmer is summoned by the Cutie Map, and she has to take care of a problem where Celestia and Luna aren't getting along. And the big problem there is that they don't see eye to eye because they both do different things. And they just, they don't understand each other's work schedule, so it's up to Starlight to try and get them on the right track. And, oh man, this episode was fantastic just because we got the pancake memes. So that was good. Pancake memes was good. Then, another great thing about this is that we get to see Daybreaker, who is the evil alter ego of Celestia, kind of like Nightmare Moon was for Luna. And the fight scene between them, that was awesome. And it's good to see the sisters get more character development, and they finally learn to come together. And I was really proud of that. It was really great. That's something that the fandom's always wanted for a while, because we've always wanted to see Celestia and Luna get more time. They finally got their own episode. Not asking for trouble. In this one, Pinky goes back to Yakistan, and she gets to see some of the Yaki culture, and I think this episode was good. It kind of repeated the lesson from Season 1 episode Applebuck Season, where sometimes you shouldn't be afraid to ask for help when friends are clearly there to offer it. And even though the Yaks are stubborn, Pinky takes the initiative to get her friends to come back and help them with their snow dilemma when there was that horrible avalanche. And eventually, because Pinky helped them, the Yaks officially accept her as an honorary Yak. So that was really good. It was good to see the Yaks come back. This episode was really funny. And it had a good lesson. It was kind of a new version of Applebuck season from what I saw. And now we got the 2 latest episodes that both came out on August 5th. We have Discordant Harmony and The Perfect Pair. Discordant Harmony is a good episode between Discord and Fluttershy, where Discord tries to change himself and tries to make himself normal for Fluttershy's sake, but that's not what Fluttershy wants. She wants Discord for Discord, and definitely know that the Fluttershy shippers would love that. But this is a good episode because Discord's great, Fluttershy's great, the interactions they have are great. Seeing Discord trying to be normal is really funny. Seeing him try to be a normie, that was great. This one, yeah, if you're a huge Discord or Fluttershy fan, you're probably going to like this one. And now we get to the best episode of the season so far, and we're only halfway through the season. It's The Perfect Pair. In this episode, we finally get to see the Apple family parents. We finally get to see the grandpa. We had Granny Smith, and we have Grandpère, which is actually a play off of the French version of Grandpa, so that was pretty good. And he's voiced by William Shatner. He does a really good job with his voice. This episode, man, it has the feels. So many feels in this one. It's just great to see what happened with the parents. And even though we're probably never going to learn how they died, because they imply, even Lauren Faust came out and said that they died. We're probably never going to see that ever, but I think it was, I remember when I heard this episode was first coming out, and they were talking about making a Romeo and Juliet story with the Apple parents. People thought it was going to be dumb. I obviously had a lot of faith in it, and I was not disappointed. And the whole fandom is rejoicing over this episode. It's so emotional. They do a really good job at conveying the relationship between the parents. Lots of emotional connection. It's great to learn more about these characters, so we get more character growth in this. And this is easily the best Apple family episode of all time. Because I can't think of an episode that was better than this one. There were so many great Apple family episodes, but this one in particular is just my favorite. And a lot of other people in the fandom are loving it right now, so that's pretty good. And for upcoming episodes, we have Fame and Misfortune, Triple Threat, and Campfire Tales. I'm kind of curious where these ones are going. They're all written by the same people who wrote the last two. So I'm looking forward to that. But in conclusion, guys, MLP Season 7 I think is on a roll. I didn't hate Season 6 because, again, third time is a charm. I like everything that this show does. I'm the Pony Fanboy. But, yeah, I thought this season's going by pretty good. The Equestria Girls shorts are doing pretty good. The Equestria Girls specials we had earlier in the summer are good. Yeah, it's good to see that MLP is still doing well, still on a roll. And the MLP movie's coming out in October. That's going to be best movie ever. But, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this short little podcast looking back at some of the episodes we've had so far in the MLP Season 7. And if you want to see more Apples to the Core podcast, then just let us know, and we just might do it. But don't worry, guys. Tipsy Gentlemen, my brother Chris's podcast, is coming back next month, so you don't have to worry too much about where that's going. So until then, we'll see you next time. I'm the Pony Fanboy, and bro hoof all you lovely people. Goodbye.